Hey guys, Rocco here. So I thought we'd do a bit of a speed round on some of the greatest hits questions that have popped up in the Q&A. So yeah, I'm 37. Yep, single. Yep. Yeah, I live in Australia, to be precise, Western Australia. So our capital's Perth is the city, but I'm closer to the town of Fremantle on the west coast.
Across the Indian Ocean, or the vast Australian desert, is Perth, a modern city of nearly 2 million people. The capital of Western Australia follows the Swan River from the port of Fremantle to its source in the Darling Range.
And yeah, the other frequently asked question is, where the fuck does the name Sergeant Rocco come from? Well, it's not a crack reference or a meth reference, whatever you want to call it these days. It's actually sort of like a hijack of an old DC Comics army comic character called Sergeant Rock. And yeah, they were going to make the movie a few times actually. They were talking about it with The Rock, and then before that they were talking about it with Arnie. So yeah, that's where it comes from. The story behind it, where I first saw Sergeant Rock, I never really read any of the comics, I only read a couple of them because I came across them. And the way that I came across them was, my dad, when we were young, and he was younger, he used to go down to the markets. Now these are not like your fruit markets or your markets where you walk around with your missus and buy fucking, you know, ice creams and shit. It's not that type of markets. It's the markets where people go down, like the Rotary markets, swap meets or whatever. I think they used to call it swap meet. Maybe people used to swap shit, but there's no swapping going on anymore. That's not how the world works today. You never swap anything. You never fucking give anything away anyway. But yeah. So they go down, he used to go down to the markets. It's where people take their shit and sell it. And yeah, we used to get up in the morning and it'd be such a big deal, like you'd be waiting for him to come back with the awesome, you know, like, oh, I wonder if he got anything cool. And oh, he used to come back with some awesome stuff, some really great stuff. I couldn't even rattle it off, there's so numerous, just all sorts of bits and bobs. We had a parachute one time, like a couple of parachutes. We had like army parachutes with the green dye on them. Like, yeah, the release pack was still there. I remember it because one of the packs ended up in the neighbour's pool, not my neighbour's, but another mate's neighbour's pool. And no shit, the whole thing was it was like predator blood. It was fluoro green. It was unreal. It's that shit so the planes can spot them when they're out going, oh Jesus, doing the fucking open water shit, you know. Anyway, he came back one morning, and he used to go out the back, which is just over there. He used to go out the back, and he would dump anything big under the patio there. Because my old man, he was like a bit of a mystery fucker. Like, he used to fuck around a lot, you know. Like, he'd come in and he'd be like, oh no, I didn't really get much, eh? It's pretty average. Got your sausage roll, you know, he'd give us all a sausage roll, like mum and me and my sister and that, and he'd be like, yeah, it's not much. And then, like, we'd fully eat this. I remember eating the sausage roll and just be like, oh man, he fucking didn't get anything? Like, geez, he's slipping. Like, oh well, shit happens, you know. Get on with the weekend, because it used to be on Sundays. And then, like, we'd finish and he'd go, oh, there is something actually. You'd be like, you dirty bastard. Like, he was great at he was a withholder. He would just totally not give you everything, like, and he also would, like, hoard shit. Not to himself, like, he would share it when he'd bring it out. Like the Royal Show that was just done, where you get the show bags full of lollies and that. He used to buy the rock candy one, and he knew that none of us fucking liked it. I think that's half the reason why he used to buy it. So, he would buy the rock candy one, and I shit you not, that fucking rock candy bag would still have rock candy in it the next year, exactly a year after when the show started again, and it'd still be there. Like he'd go to put the new bag in sometimes after we'd come back from the show, and he'd go, yeah, I've still got the fucking old one up, and we'd go, yeah, of course you fucking have, you fucking crazy hoarder. Anyway, so yeah, we run outside. I've got I did maybe get something you might be interested in out of the fucking bag, so boom, out the back I go. So I go out there, and it's a long box. Now, for people that don't know aren't comic book savvy, it's a goddamn long box. It's a long cardboard box, the ones that you sift through at the comic book stores. You must have seen it on The Big Bang Theory or some shit like that. First time I'd ever seen a long box in my life. I'd seen comics before. I had a few comics, so I went down to this long box. started like just flicking through. And it was like, for someone like me who loved all that type of stuff from a pretty young age, like, you know, stories and books and music and movies and all that, games, it was amazing, because each time you would flip, like, you know, because I wouldn't be like, oh, I don't like girls, I'm throwing this one away, or oh, I don't like bats, I'm getting rid of Batman. Each one that I would flick would be like, oh yeah, I want to look at that. Oh, this one's cool. Fuck. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck's this? And all of the stuff that I saw in there is still stuff that I like today. Like Batman, it's pretty much that long box influenced all the things that I like today, plus, you know, more. It was this jumping off point. It had Tales from the Crypt, like the Vaults of Horror comic books, the old EC ones with the... That started my love affair for the short tales and short stories. And it also had in there Swamp Thing and the DC comic, Army comic, Sergeant Rock. And yeah, I'm not sure how long after that PC gaming started for me. I mean, we had the Commodore 64 first with the tape and all that shit, and would come up on the screen. I mean, all that sort of crazy controller stuff. Look with the button and the control. Oh fuck yeah, crazy shit. That's how you know a true OG gamer. But yeah, so it had all the comic books in it and the Sergeant Rock. Now, of course, you can't call yourself Tales from the Crypt, and like I didn't want to have a name like Crypt Keeper. So when gaming came about and you started having to put your name in for characters to create players, I would say, when creating players was a thing in games and you started putting your name in, because it was always high scores. For high scores I used to put in Doc, D-O-C. Don't ask me why, just always used to put in Doc. Might have been a Back to the Future thing in the subconscious, but I've never thought of it as that. But yeah, that might be what it is, Doc. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, then it was Sergeant Rocco when you started having to put full names in and name players and characters. And yeah, because once it all went ape shit and gaming became popular and no longer for nerds and unsocial idiots, now it's like, you're not a gamer, you fucking twat. Like, yeah. But before it became social, if you went on, you probably could have secured Sergeant Rock, you know. But I had to go for Sergeant Rocco. Sergeant Rock was taken. Saddest day of my fucking life. But no, not really. But that's the story behind Sergeant Rocco. It all started with that comic book. I suppose the comic book box, the long box. Yeah, so many good ones in there. Batman, Superman's, like all the stuff, because I was born in 1979, 37. Yeah. So basically that would have been probably, I don't know, it would have been like 8 or 10. So, you know, you're talking like, you know, 80, 87, 89, 90, maybe, around that time. So it was all the comic books that were out at that time, but these ones, I dare say, were earlier ones because they were sold at a swap meet. Like some grandma had sold her son, some mother had sold her son's shit that he left when he moved out with his missus, and his missus like, don't bring that box of fucking shit into my house. Like, that's what it would have been all about, you know? And that's one of the tales of how I became involved and loved all the, you know, the written entertainment, as well as the jumping off into movies and all that. The real first experience with movies was in this very room, and Dad called me in to watch Star Wars. That was the big one. Yeah, he's like, Star Wars came on TV, and it was the first time he had stereo. I'm sure I've told the story before, but it's good. And he said, son, lay down there and just watch the screen. Now, I had no idea at all of what Star Wars was, and I can't even remember watching a movie up until that point, so I couldn't tell you how young I was. It's like one of those moments that if you go to heaven... See, I think, like, when you go to heaven, you, like, if you've been good, God will show you, like, whatever sort of, like, whatever you want to see. Like, maybe if there's something from your past you wanted to remember again, he'll show you that from a different perspective. And I'd like to think that, for me, he would put my life's highlights together as like a movie, and like edited by God, you know? That's the way it would be, for me. And yeah, I like to think like going back there, and that would be one of the pivotal moments in shaping my brain, life, basically, is when I was sitting there with my, staring up at the TV like this, and that fucking spaceship just... But yeah, without that music. But yeah, it was just Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was like I just remember it's like a fucking pyramid in space. That's what I remember when I saw it. Because first you got the little one coming, and then it's the huge noise. You know, you've had the credits and scroll, and that wasn't so amazing. You know, to me at the time, it was like, oh yeah, that's the story, sweet. But then it was like, yeah. Once the spaceship, the Carillion cruiser comes in, and it's like, and it's like totally getting hammered by the lasers, and yeah, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff when you're that young. It's just, yeah, it blows your mind. And my dad didn't fuck around either. Like, he was like, if you're going to see Star Wars for the first time, like, because he saw it at the cinemas, they queued up around the block. It was one of those things. And it came out 2 years before I was born, so there's no way I was seeing it in the cinemas. Not even if they just dragged me along, or it was something in like one of those baby carriers which weren't invented then. But yeah, he got me down there and he blasted this fucking TV, man. Like, absolutely blasted it. And it was just like, I remember, like, I'm pretty sure Mum's like, what the fuck, turn it down! Like, yeah, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Mum's in the other room screaming and shit. She's like, what the fuck are you watching? Like, yeah, yeah, awesome. Like, groin-grabbingly awesome stuff. That's the story of Sergeant Rocco, the name. It's a fucking long story, and really it shouldn't have been that long. So the next question is, favourites, AIB or TVF? Now, I've got my favourite. I like these ones, basically, for their own different separate reasons. Like, TVF looks like it's going to be good for the drama shows, definitely, like the web series. AIB is definitely the #1 for skits. They're absolutely above par for everyone else. Like, just the way they go into detail when even like if they do a skit in a store, everything in that store is a prop. Like, all the signs are like, they've got random sales pitch written on a sign somewhere instead of the actual sales sign, like $99 or whatever, you know. It's really good the way that they do it. AIB, they go all out. So like The Day India Resigned, A Man's Best Friend, and what was the other one? Honest Diwali, all that sort of stuff. They're great. And I like EIC for their stand-up. I think they've got some of the best stand-up comedians on their channel for sure. And Kenny's my favourite all-time stand-up comedian from India, definitely. And yeah, he's up there, I'd say, in my top 10 now for sure, definitely. I just like the originality and the subjects that he sort of covers. Yeah, just the subjects that he's covered are a lot more interesting than most, you know. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's how it is. I don't really have a favourite. It's like when someone says pick your favourite movie. It's pretty hard to nail it down unless you start picking like favourite comedy, favourite action, favourite sci-fi. You know, it's a lot easier to do it that way. And then it's the best things about India. Well, I mean, for starters, it's got to be the people. It's got to be the people, like, and the culture, and just all that sort of stuff's good. It's always great to check out different places. I love to go different places. I haven't travelled too much at all. Like, I think there was another question. Didn't travel much. We travelled everywhere around Western Australia, which is a pretty big place. But yeah, we travelled all around there. I've been all around the States, so that's one thing I can say. So I can leave the travelling to my later years to enjoy it. Yeah, it's starting to get a bit long, this one, guys, so I think we're going to cut this off. Stay tuned for part 2, but this is good fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am, and yeah, we'll see you for part 2. Thanks for watching.